Have you been waiting for your Faded Spade Kickstarter to arrive? Well, you'll be getting them sooner than you think. Hello and welcome back, I'm the One-Eyed Crow, and today we're here to cover June 26th to July 2nd, 2022. And before we get into that, however, I would like to remind everybody that we're only 124 subscribers away from our 750 subscriber milestone, at which we'll be giving away a Wilderness Spellbook as well as other products. Basically, whatever products are relevant at the time we hit that goal. So if you're not subscribed, there's no better time. Also, if you're looking for a game, don't forget about the MetaZoo Unofficial Events Discord that was just started. I had a video announcing that earlier in the week, and if you want to watch that, you can click this link here, and that'll explain everything you need to know about the Discord. So please come and join us, meet people in your area, and try to find some games. At the beginning of the week, we received an announcement for a simple letter. And the question is, what partnerships could that hint at? Walgreens, Walt Disney World, Wendy's? A few days later, we were treated to yet another single letter announcement, M. One could assume that W and M go together, so this could be World Market, Waste Management. Oh right, Walmart! MetaZoo has had two successful launches with Walmart with the CN2 and the Wilderness hangers. And this is likely confirmation that UFO will continue the trend with a Walmart release. In last week's update, I had shown a hint that Target will be getting branded cards similar to the eBay release. And I imagine that this time around with UFO, we'll see the same treatment with Walmart. Seance Playtesting emails have gone out. If you signed up to be a playtester for Seance, check your emails to see if you've been accepted to that program. For those of you who have been accepted, congratulations, and have fun shaping the future of MetaZoo. MetaZoo teased a look at this blocky rendering of a Loveland Frogman. There are two running theories on this render. Some think it could be related to future game content, maybe a mobile game. Others believe that this could be a future NFT, as there are some NFTs that resemble this style. It's still too early to tell, however, I'm leaning more towards the game theory. Now, for the last year and a half, when searching for MetaZoo on eBay, no secondary talk, the results would come up and eBay would ask, "Did you mean metakoo?" I'm happy to announce that eBay now officially understands that you're not interested in e-bikes and instead want to find yourself some deals in the secondary market. A secondary market that we don't talk about. We got another brief look at the Target blister pack that will come with the Smokey Bear promo. This image is a close-up of the Smokey Bear officially licensed product seal that all Smokey Bear products bear. The image that we've seen previously was a mock-up of the blister pack design showing that these blisters will have 3 packs, a Smokey Bear promo, and a green coin. This new image is interesting because it's clear that this is a picture of the real packaged product, hinting that this is nearly ready for us to have in hand. Regarding the Target branded cards, it was confirmed on Friday in a live interview between Harley at EpicTube HD and Mike that the Smokey Bear blisters will contain Target branded cards. I also learned an interesting tidbit of information about the Smokey Bear promo. There's a reason it doesn't have an ability or attack. As part of the rules to use Smokey Bear in any promotions or advertising, Smokey cannot engage in violence. Since having abilities or an attack would portray Smokey Bear to be engaging in combat with other cryptids, he's being rolled out as a purely collectible card. We've had a number of hints at UFO products this week. With every release, MetaZoo releases a new playmat themed for the release, and we now know what the official UFO playmat looks like, and it's gorgeous. It features Beasties old and new with the Flatwood monsters front and center. In the background, you can see Van Meter Visitor, a giant space brain, UFO Eats, UFO, Crawfordsville Monster, this Schmeagle creature eating a fish, a space penguin, a gray alien, and Enfield Monster. They look to be on a foreign planet, likely Mars from the color of the surface, with a cosmic green sky. Andy also dropped this image of 4 beasties from UFO, only one of which we know the name of, UFO Eats. The background colors of the beasties do seem to have meaning here, since we know that UFO Eats is going to be cosmic, and the giant snake-like beastie that was sent into space is known to be a fire beastie. This could mean that the pig, which we've seen so far as part of the UFO Pin Club release, is going to be an Earth beastie, and the new cryptid we're seeing in the bottom right belongs in Spirit Spellbooks. MetaZoo has also started a new trend of showing specific beasties. We have a new Puerto Rican-based card that's been announced for UFO called USO. USO stands for Unidentified Submerged Object. So while a UFO flies in the sky, a USO travels via water. The art depicts an aquatic beastie in a saucer-like submarine, Bubbles can be seen trailing the craft, and there's a very high-tech looking torpedo ready to be launched underneath the watercraft. Needless to say, this is a new card for water spellbooks and one that I hope to see more often in the future. A second UFO Beastie spoiler was dropped in a newly created channel called #Beasties, which is a channel that will be dedicated to Beastie spoilers. The Black Demon is based out of Baja, California. This is likely another water beastie for UFO, though the color scheme could hint that it has cosmic ties. The artwork for this card is a beaten up mutant shark with green accents and chunks missing from its fins. It's been a while since we've heard anything about the Supps partnership, which was first announced in the beginning of April. Now, I'm really hoping these are just samples sent out to test the product, because this looks like something you'd buy under the bleachers between classes. For those of you that don't remember, Supps is an energy drink company focused on gamers who need a boost for long gaming sessions. They sell their products in powder form, hence the dime bags, which you need to mix with water yourself. They do sell products outside of energy supplements with a heavy focus on waifu designs. In last week's update, we got our first look at this year's 4th of July promo card. This card will be incredibly playable in your spellbook, considering it's a 1 neutral cost spell that allows you to delay combat for a full turn. Now, it is the 4th of July weekend, and MetaZoo is giving away 50 of these cards to 50 lucky people who post a picture of MetaZoo related 4th of July barbecue or fireworks content in the 4th of July Barbecue 2022 Discord chat. And the 4th of July promos are actually going live today. The first wave of that was at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So keep an eye out on MetaZoo Marketplace to get your promo. The fan art competition wrapped up 2 weeks ago, and Mike and team have over 1,000 entries to sort through to select their semifinalists. Every one of those entries that do not make it to the semifinals will be stamped with a participation stamp and sent back to the entrant. The stamp itself has a MetaZoo logo, the year, the word participant, and is encircled with cryptids. The stamping process is leaving some to wonder how the stamp will affect the quality of the card. Will the stamp be visible on both the back and the front of the card? My assumption is that it will be visible on both the front and the back, since this is a post-production stamp. Will this have an effect on how the card is graded by companies like PSA? Given that the stamp is an expected modification similar to the scratch-off areas on Revive cards, I imagine that PSA will grade stamped cards as they would any other card and not treat it as a defect. We got a look at a map in black map that Mike has laid out on his dining table. I have to say I was too distracted at first to care about the map. The off-center fruit bowl, the cockeyed napkin holder, chairs pushed in all willy-nilly. I will say the rug does line up with the wood floor nicely, and I'll give him that. Once I got past the OCD, I did my research. Map in Black is a website called, and get this, mapinblack.com. The map is essentially a 3-foot by 4-foot paper map of North America with over 1,000 points of interest. The points of interest are split into 8 categories: aliens, ancient American sites, cryptids, ecology, hauntings, government, native lands, and sacred geography. The map took 10 years to design and was first sold in July of last year with a total print run of 5,000 copies. Since this is a cryptid-related map, it's safe to assume that MetaZoo is working with them in some way, shape, or form, and this announcement could simply be related to advertising in this year's printing of the map. However, a second run is now up for pre-order and is expected to ship this month. It does state that the $14 pre-order price tag includes the map as well as some bonus items. And could the bonus items be something along the lines of a MetaZoo promo? We'll have to wait and find out. We got to look at a few more items from MetaZoo's past this week, the first of which are 2 prototype playmats. One features a cityscape with pink skyline and accents. The scene takes place at night with a meteor shower in the sky, and we can see in the bottom corners that this was illustrated by Poncho and is one of 19. The second mat shown is a black mat with the familiar MetaZoo holofoil pattern. On what would be the bottom of the mat, you can see a red accent line and a Chaos Crystal themed triangle with the MetaZoo inverted pentagram. In 2020, Mike sent out a box full of sample packs to Cryptid Crate to be included with their monthly crates. I really hope that people that receive those crates know what they have. Sheesh. That was a weird sheesh. The last piece of history that we got a glimpse at was the first Rudy playmat concept. It has a red diamond background design inlaid with all of the aura types. Rudy is front and center wearing a very regal cape with a crown floating over his head. You're likely already aware that MetaZoo has been releasing egg-based plushies at each Collecticon. The eggs are slowly hatching into a chibi Cumberland dragon, and my theory is that it will become an adult Cumberland dragon by the time the Denver Collecticon comes around. A few weeks ago, it was announced that MetaZoo will be releasing their own line of plushies called Beastie Besties, and we're now finally getting a look at 2 of them this week. We have the Dover Demon, which is a cryptid based out of Dover, Massachusetts. And I have a coworker that might want this one because I know he used to be in that area. The second is a beastie we all know and love from Wilderness, Iowa Dragon. In an Instagram announcement for these plushies, it was stated that plushie boxes will include fan favorite beasties from several different sets. From the original announcement on May 23rd, we know that this first wave will include 20 beasties spanning across Cryptid Nation, Nightfall, Wilderness, and UFO. And I don't think there's any question whether or not these will be accompanied by a promo card. It is MetaZoo after all. However, the big question is whether or not these will be blind box drops. We're finally getting a look at the output of the Invasion Toys partnership. The first look at this new line was an image dropped in the Discord of a white Hodag. And you can see other models on either side of Hodag that are also white. The models in the image are unpainted, and it can be assumed that these were on their way to the painters. The second look we got at this release is a painted Bigfoot figure on Instagram, and in the Instagram announcement, MetaZoo said to keep your eyes peeled for some unique variant chases as well. Similar to Funko, Invasion Toys releases glow-in-the-dark variants, glitter variants, etc. So I expect we'll see similar figures with MetaZoo. The question here again is whether or not these will be blind box. And if they are blind box, it's going to make that variant chase a lot more exciting. And one of the biggest spoilers from Mike's live stream with Harley was his discussion on card printing technologies, specifically on expanding the technology used for holo patterns. Mike was discussing the process used to make the eBay Wilderness holo pattern much more vibrant than the core Wilderness set. This can be seen in the UFO holo pattern that was previously teased as well. The pattern is vibrant and, depending on the angle of light diffraction, changes colors. He then went on to discuss further advancements in the printing technology that allow you to add depth to the holofoil pattern. And this involves an etching plate with depth rolled over the cards, which allows different layers of embossing. This creates a feeling of depth and allows light to refract at different angles to get different perspectives in the holo pattern. It's even possible to create the illusion of 3D images with this technology. Now, I love the holos as they are today, and I'm really happy with the enhancement that they made with the Wilderness eBay release. With that said, I'm incredibly excited to see what MetaZoo is going to do with this technology and understand how they're going to innovate with this design. But before we get to the top story, it's trivia time. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spin last week's winner. Last week's question was asked by Harley from EpicTube HD, and his question was, when does UFO drop? And we were looking for the street date of the drop. The correct answer to that was July 29th, so I've added everybody to this wheel who got the answer correct in the last video. So let's give that a spin. And the winner is Shiny Ho-Oh TCG. Congratulations, you've won a $15 gift card to Immortal Workshop. Please reach out to me on the Discord, and I'll reach out to you in the comment below to let you know that you won. I am still waiting on last week's winner, WSM, to contact me about their winnings. If you know who that is, please have them ping me. If I don't hear back by next week, we'll just respin that one. Alright, so on to this week's trivia question, and this week we have a very special guest, somebody that probably doesn't really need an introduction in this community, Argos from Argos Anonymous.
Well, hey, didn't see you there. Salutations, fantastic fans of the One-Eyed Crow MetaZoo News Network. I am Argos of Argos Anonymous, here to introduce to you the trivia question of the week. But first, a little shameless self-promotion. If you find yourself in need in the ever-changing landscape of the metaverse of a reliable online store for your MetaZoo products, check out www.argosanon.com. I also have a Patreon where hundreds of dedicated MetaZoo enthusiasts gather in our Discord. We have a private Discord, and where we look at card populations, market updates, and news alerts, and all kinds of ridiculous things. So if you go to patreon.com/ArgosAnon, you can plug into that for just $1. Check me out on Instagram at ArgosAnon, patreon.com/ArgosAnon, YouTube, just Google Argos and MetaZoo, and you'll see all that stuff's going to come up. But now, for the trivia question of the week. I'm going to read you a poem, and the idea is to dissect the information and name the beastie about which the poem is written. It should be pretty easy. This beastie is clearly the ringer of MetaZoo, the top of the meta, some of the most valuable cards in collections all over the place. I mean, it's the best beastie in the entire MetaZoo landscape, by far. Here we go. Cunning, old, sleek as jam. This prickly, prancing beastie can roll through the dunes and forever sup till the moon doth shine on his empty cup. What am I? Until next time, this is Argos, signing out.
I'd like to thank Argos for participating in this week's trivia question. If you know the answer, I will pin the question in a comment below. Reply to that comment with the correct answer, and then next week I'll put you on a spin wheel and you could win a $15 gift card to Immortal Workshop. Alright, on to our top story. It's time to talk about the Kickstarter. The Faded Spade Kickstarter teaser started rolling out a little over a week ago with a look at the card art for Cryptid Nation, Nightfall, and Wilderness playing cards. Each set will feature the beasties from their respective releases. And now, I did notice something interesting about the jokers in these sets. The Wilderness Joker is its secret rare, Green Man. Nightfall's Joker is also the secret rare for its set, Old Scratch. Cryptid Nation, however, features Indrid Cold as its Joker. Indrid Cold was not released until Nightfall, and keeping with the theme that Jokers are secret rares of the set, could this hint that there is an Indrid Cold secret rare in Cryptid Nation? And if there is, I would imagine that with the scale that we've seen Cryptid Nation open so far, it would be a very limited print run, maybe even a 1 of 1. Alright, let me climb back out of that conspiracy theory rabbit hole. We also got a look at the uncut sheets for the Cryptid Nation, Nightfall, and Wilderness deck boxes this week. The Kickstarter campaign did tease the concept for these at the very beginning, however there are some differences between the mock-ups in the campaign and what we're seeing now. The deck boxes in the campaign were much more ornate, with cryptid designs all over the boxes. The boxes that we're seeing now on the uncut sheets are solid colors with the MetaZoo, Faded Spade, and World Poker Tour logos. The set name in the bottom front, and the Magic is Real slogan on the back. Now, it's possible that the ornate designs could be added after the fact to spice the boxes up a bit. However, I do feel that this is unlikely, given the logos are already printed on the boxes. The second difference in the real boxes is the addition of the rainbow star on the back of the box. This is very similar to the special aura star used on the Prism aura and Neutrality Totality aura, so I think what we're seeing here is that these are the boxes that are going to hold the gilded decks. And if you look at those stars, you have a solid one and a rainbow one, so they most likely designate which type of gilding is going to be in that box. On top of the deck box reveals, the timeline for the Kickstarter shipments to MetaZoo has been revealed. These will be shipping in 4 waves. The first 3 will be on July 18th, July 25th, and August 1st, and will contain the ungilded decks. If you bought the gilding, those are expected to ship in early August, but there's no exact date given yet. And at that point, MetaZoo then needs to package everything up to the people that bought from the Kickstarter, add in the additional add-ons, the additional uncut sheets that they're going to randomly slip in, the art cards that they're going to slip into some people, and then ship them out. So ultimately, for those who got ungilded decks, I'd imagine that we're about a month away from you being able to have those in hand, depending on how complex your order was. And for those of us with gilding, we're probably close to a month and a half away before actually having that in hand. And even then, that might be a little optimistic. Well, that's everything I wanted to cover for today. Thank you for stopping by, for checking out all of these updates, and I'll catch you in the next one.